Are you confused on how to use Microsoft Excel? Do you want to know the most efficient way to use it for office work? If so, then stay tuned. Welcome to the Microsoft Excel tutorial series. In this series, I'm going to talk about all the amazing functions of Microsoft Excel. This is the first video of this series. So I will be going through the introduction of Microsoft Excel and what is actually present there, what are the features that we regularly use. I'm going to give you all an overview, and I will simultaneously share all the concepts in the later videos. Hello everyone, let's start today's session. Okay, so basically what I have done is I have opened an Excel workbook, and it's an empty workbook. There is no content here. So at first let me go through the elements in the workbook step by step, and then you will get along with it. Okay, so at first, as I can see, this is called an Excel workbook. This is a sheet, and it is by default called sheet 1. I can add more sheets if I want. Now currently let me work on sheet 1. Okay, so sheet 1 consists of all tables, empty tables with no data. Okay, so each table element is called a cell. A cell is formed by the intersection of a column and a row. For example, this cell is an intersection of column E and row 4, so this cell is called E4. Similarly, this cell is an intersection of column K and row 2, so this cell is called K2. Okay, so now let me start by a simple exercise. Okay, so I want to make a list of fruit items, groceries, which I'm going to add in my shopping list, and I'm also going to mention the quantity by which I'm going to buy them from the grocery store. Okay, so at first let me provide a good title. Okay, groceries. Okay, so now I need 3 columns. For example, cereal, how many fruits I'm ordering, I can number them accordingly, and then the fruits, the types of fruits, and then the quantity. Okay, so for me, this view is a bit, the letters are too small. So is there any tool I can use to maximize the view or zoom in? So as you can see here, I have one. With it, I can maximize my view and I can see it clearly. Okay, so now let's see. Groceries is my heading. Okay, so if I want to prove it as a heading, then I might have to increase the text size. So let's increase it to 60. Okay, so now I can see that the text is coming out of the cell which I have already applied for groceries. Okay, so let me extend it. There is a functionality by which we can extend it, as I have shown you here, but this still looks a bit odd because it is showing up in A1 cell, whereas since we have 3 columns, so groceries represents all the elements in the 3 columns, right? So how can I make the view a bit better? So what I can do is, since I'm using these 3 cells here, so I can just select these 3 cells, and there's a tool by which we can merge the cells. So now I'm going to merge it, and if I click on this button, the cells will be merged. Now this gives a better view that groceries are calculated this way with a proper serial number as how many groceries am I going to buy and in what quantity am I going to buy. Okay, so now let's write serial 1, 2, 3. So for fruits, I'm writing apples, oranges, and mangoes. Okay, so apples I'm writing 10, oranges I'm writing 8, mangoes I'm writing 15 because I love mangoes. Okay, so all right, this looks a bit odd since these are not marked properly. The data looks a bit scattered. So what can I do? Since I'm not applying any data under this and I have finalized my list, so what I can do is I can select all my data and go here and select all borders. This way my data is bordered and it is visibly different than the rest of the Excel sheet, which is actually a compilation of tables. So this looks different and the data looks compiled. Okay, so here what I did was I selected cell by cell, row by row. So what I can do is I can also use another shortcut. I can click on the first cell here and then I can click Ctrl plus A. So when I click Ctrl plus A, it auto selects all of the content based on the table and the columns which I have written on Excel. Okay, so then I can go here and I can add the borders if I want, for example. Now let me show you. Okay, no borders. Then I click Control A and then I select all borders. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, so now I want to add colors and a bit of labeling. So how can we do that? So this is for text color. We can change the color of the text. But this one is for field color. We can change the color of the background of the cell. So here I'm using this color. Now for the title of this, for the title of these three columns, I will be using a different field. For example, I'm using this. Okay. Now I want to make my text bold. So I'll use bold. If I wanted italic, I could use italic, or if I wanted to underline, I could use underline, just like Microsoft Word. Since all of these tools belong to Microsoft, right? Okay, so groceries, let's bold it. And now this looks good. We can also change the sheet name to grocery 1. For example, this is the grocery list for the month of December. We can similarly do a grocery list for the month of January. We can write it grocery 2. So these way we can use Microsoft Excel. Thank you everyone. The link to the Excel file has been shared in the description below. Please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from Tech Trends with Nasir.